YouTube, what is up? It's Sean Has Jokes. So I have done a lot of things in my life, but I've never changed my own oil, and we're gonna change that today with my favorite shop in the world, Dynamic BMW, located in Huntley, Illinois. We've got the owner, Chad, right here. Huge shout out to FCP Euro for working with me on today's video. They offer the best European car parts out there. They have fast shipping, they're local, they care about the car community, which is the best part, and guess what? They have a lifetime guarantee on all their parts. Make sure you check them out. Let's get back into the video. So the goal is for me to do everything. I don't want Chad to touch the car. He's already touching the car. Like, that's what he does best. He touches things.
Help it.
But in all honesty, the Pro Tuning Freaks Flex Fuel Kit is in the way. So we are moving that out of the way so we can, what was it? We're loosening?
Oil cap.
The oil cap, which is back there.
On the S58 and the B58, it's located in the rear of the engine, on the side of the intake manifold, which is a little bit of a squeeze to get to.
And I'll get a shot of that right now.
So the black plastic cap is the oil filter. We're gonna take that off with a 32 millimeter nut socket wrench. So the next thing we're gonna do here is drain the oil out of the oil filter cap. So the housing of the oil filter on B58 and S58s, that oil filter housing is towards the back of the intake manifold. So you may have to move some components or wiring out of the way. It's nothing big deal. You'll see the black plastic cap, so you know what it looks like. It's a 32 millimeter socket that goes on the top of this housing. You can get that from a local hardware store. Mini extension, about a 3-inch extension, and a ratchet. We do this and we pop the cap off ahead of time because we want all of that, about half a quart, half a liter of oil is going to go into the oil pan, and we want to make sure that all that oil gets out, not stay up in there due to suction. Also, very, very big note, you want to just loosen the cap until you'll see an O-ring starts coming up over the metal housing. Do not remove the cap completely, otherwise you'll make a huge mess. You just want to breach to where that O-ring comes up above the oil filter housing and leave it, then drain your oil. There you go. So when it starts to get a little bit easier, and you could see that O-ring start protruding from the cap, you're gonna stop. All right, we're gonna try and get a picture here of the cap down there. And hopefully you can see that the cap is up just enough to release that oil down into the crankcase.
All right, so now we're gonna remove the oil cap. Shout out to Precision Raceworks for these beautiful caps.
Why are we loosening the cap?
Airflow.
Why airflow for what?
To get all the oil out, right?
Yeah, okay.
That's close enough. And now we're gonna lift the car up?
Yeah, we're gonna lift it up.
Okay. With our arms?
Yes.
Chad's stalking his prey. He's gonna attack someone. Shout out to FCP Euro for the parts, but does Chatty Shack know what this is?
An alternator.
That is a CSF intake manifold right there.
Intake manifold?
Mm-hmm. It's a magnetic oil drain plug, is that right?
Yes.
So it pulls all those metals out of the mitochondria.
It's like NAD plus for your body. It pulls all the out of your oil.
Yes, and we'll be getting that installed today. All right, for those of you that are watching and don't know, I'm actually 7 feet tall, and this is the highest the lift can go, so you're gonna see a hunchback of Notre Dame right here. All right, so yes, I am cheating the oil change a little bit with the lift, but I just had knee surgery about 2.5 months ago, and so getting on the ground right now is not the best, especially on a concrete floor. So now we got our 17 millimeter socket, and we're just gonna let it drain, right? Should I be standing right next to it? Like,
you wanna lick it.
Should I do a taste test? Make sure my oil's good.
I always do.
And then maybe we should do a Blackstone sample, but they just went up in price and I can't afford it.
Maybe they're sending it to China. Maybe they're sampling it in China.
See, Chad's got jokes. We gotta get his name changed.
Okay, once you crack it loose, you can do it by your fingers. Do you want a
glove? That'd be very mindful of you, Chad. Hey, shout out to Chad, you know, he's looking out for us.
Always look out for you.
Because I don't want to get my hands dirty, you know, God forbid.
No, any guy with a ponytail needs a glove.
Yeah.
Oh!
She squirted all over me.
Oh no.
We're in the splash zone. So now, while the oil is flowing, we really want to get a taste of that. So.
Oh,
we really want to look out for metal shavings.
It's sparkling. It's sparkling red.
Is it glitter? Is that glitter red?
All right, so this is very good. When you're looking at your oil, of course I have a dirty glove on. All right. So the oil is going to be a bit dark in color, right? But there's two things you want to look for. Obviously, is there any metal or glitter in your oil? Nope. And then also, this is proper oil for the right duration of oil change, the correct color. If it's too light, you pretty much just did the oil. If it's too dark, then you waited too long. There's no exact science to it. And then you want to smell it. So smell that, Sean. Let me know what it smells like. Dirty Sanchez.
Smells like oil, clean oil.
Okay, so we don't want a charry smell. We don't want it to smell burnt or anything like that.
Yes.
You got oil on that door.
My apologies, sir.
Oh, you're missing a cap.
I know. So this is why I come to Dynamic BMW over here in Huntley, Illinois, because they go above and beyond. Not only with their workout regimen, but with their service.
This guy's right on the money.
I like to work my abdominals.
Okay.
Alright, so we got our MMX oil or magnetic drain plug. We're gonna slip this on like a glove. Don't drop it like that.
All right, Viking, you're on.
We are recording 100%. It's clicking.
Oop. Okay, now you're.
Good. Magnetic drain bolt going back in.
Yep.
Watch your back.
Watch your ponytail, watch your back.
Watch your ponytail.
Look at this guy.
She's dripping almost all the way out. Should I just throw it in?
Yeah, throw it. I'd like to see it.
Here we go. Straight in the hole.
John's good at that.
We go straight in from the back. Oh my gosh. Dude,
Sean, do you need a little help?
it's getting harder with the fucking oil.
It's dripping.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just want everybody to know that before you put the drain plug in, make sure the old gasket seal ring is not still stuck to your oil pan. You're gonna get it this time. 10th time's a charm, 10th time.
Go.
There it is! Sean, how many oil changes have you done before?
This is my first, and I think you guys
First
can
one.
tell.
First one. So if Sean can do it, y'all can do it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so she's screwed in. Got oil all over my body.
Yep.
We dripping.
All over the floor.
All over the floor.
But wait.
There's more. All right, you guys, so Chad's in the splash zone currently, so he's cleaning up our mess, because he just got this floor done by Garage Store Chicago, right? We love Jim. Great guy.
Normally, this gets torqued down to a torque specification.
Yeah.
Some of the torque specifications are different from car to car, so you don't want to lead people down the wrong path. But Chad insists that I don't need to torque it. That's fine. They can blame me. Blame Chad. I love it. Don't want it light enough, like little Sally here, that it's not crushing the washer at all.
Gotcha.
You want to just crush the washer a little bit, then we're done. That's why I don't use a torque wrench.
Gotcha. All right, here we go.
What are we doing, Sean?
We're twerking down the drain plug.
How are you doing that?
Hand by hand. VIA Chad, so every drain plug has a certain torque spit. Chad says to just ignore that.
Ignore the torque spec?
Go crazy with it. Just torque it down as much as you want. No, I'm just kidding. No. We want a nice full turn where it's nice and tight. So here we go.
Stop. That's it.
And that's it. That's all she
you
wrote.
need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
All you're doing is crushing down that crush washer. We ready to drop the car down?
Now let's pull the engine.
Pull the engine, just get it done with, put a top mount on it, rebuild it. So this is looking pretty
Torque down.
messy.
Messy.
Now
Yeah,
what?
So now we're gonna wipe it down.
Yeah. Okay, a little brake clean.
There we go. Nice and clean.
You do not want oil.
On the carpeted liner.
No,
Because that is a fire waiting to happen.
Look how clean that is. Nice and tight. Okay, MMX, good brand.
We love them. Not sponsored.
And then, you want to put that on?
So I did not see you take this off, so this will be fun. I'm guessing it's really hard though, so is it definitely this way, right?
No, other way.
Damn it.
Put the slots in the slots, and then it turns about 25 degrees.
There we go.
That's
First
it.
try. Great guy.
This guy's got a workout going on.
Yeah, seriously, it's putting a lot of pressure on my back. Chad could not be 7 feet tall and a mechanic. There's no way.
All right, let me see that.
Which way? Yes, my apologies. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Holy.
Yep. Oh,
I knew you were gonna do some shit like that. I figured. I saw that coming, to be honest. So now we're gonna pull the oil filter housing out. No, I'm just kidding.
Like,
Chad wants to play with me.
look at that big giant underneath this hood. You're making this car look tiny.
We might need to unscrew it a little bit more.
Yeah, you need to unscrew it more.
Okay. So now you're just gonna reach your giant Viking hand in there, loosen this cap. Does everything come out all together, or do I have to pull out the filter itself, right?
Filter cap comes out with the filter.
Oh, it does?
Yep, so you're gonna pull straight up, and then you're going to articulate the filter just so where it comes out of the engine bay right there. Mm-hmm. You got it? It's like giving birth to a baby.
Something like that.
Like a little baby Sean. Oh, there it is, I can see its head. Oh, yeah.
It's a boy.
Oh, it's a boy, look.
Oh, look at all that metal glitter shavings from me pushing the engine too much.
Actually, that's a pretty good observation. So we want to look inside of here. And if you, here, get the light on this side, Sean. Yeah.
We're recording on this one now too.
Okay, so if you're looking inside this element, you should not see any metal debris, any glitter. It should just essentially be all filter material.
All filter.
Yep, that's a good looking filter.
Perfect. We love to see that because I don't want to pay for a new S58 yet. So we want to grab some oil that's already on my hand.
Right.
Oil up the O-ring. That's the only thing I do know about oil changes. So we're going to grab the old O-ring. We need a special tool to remove it. Chad is looking for a Z tool. We're just going to pry that off, right, Chatty Chuck?
You got it.
You see how I work in a circular motion?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to grab the
Don't
new
mix
one.
it up.
Don't mix it up.
Yep.
Grab the new one. Make sure there's oil on it. Push it back.
Yeah. You're going to hold part of the O-ring with your thumb.
Does that work?
No, you're good. Yeah.
No, we just
Yep.
bring it on down.
Into the groove.
Now we got a nice planted O-ring.
There's your housing. There's going to be a little hole in the housing that you're going to see on the far end. And this guy goes in the hole down in the oil filter housing. Easy. Sean's going to show us. Orientation is going to be like that. All right, so shove that down in there.
Yep.
The orientation. And then once it gets to the bottom, you're gonna just turn it side to side until it slides into the hole. Ooh. Is that it?
Yep. Now it's in there.
It's in.
Sure.
Oh, I'm standing in front of your camera.
But it rotated.
Yep,
Okay.
it rotated and then it went in,
Yeah.
right?
So once the oil filter is seated, then we put the cap on. We don't want to, we just want to tighten as much as we can with our hand, right?
Mm-hmm. Why'd you get 5W40?
Everyone that's running a lot of power in the X3Ms recommended it. So we're going to a thicker oil.
Okay.
We know Chad does not like anything that's not OEM oil, but there we go.
Yeah. So tell people what you're feeling right now.
So I'm feeling the oil filter housing going down, which is giving me some more room to work with, which is why it was such a pain in the ass.
How hard is the effort?
This is very little. Like I can do this with one finger.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's going to get harder, right?
That's important because people need to understand if there's a problem, it's not going to go in that easy. And this is exactly how you want it to go in.
Okay.
Nice and smooth. It's got some resistance, not a lot, not super easy.
Now it's getting harder.
Okay. So now, because okay, are you at the stop?
No.
Okay. So now you hit the O-ring. That's why it got tighter.
Okay.
So when you hit the O-ring, you're going to feel more
Now
resistance.
it's real tight.
Now it's real tight. So that's pretty much it. This is plastic cap.
So we don't want to over torque it.
So yeah, I mean, you want to get to the point where it bottoms out, and then you're just going to give it a tiny little extra boop. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay. So now Chat is going to
Chat
GBT, aka Chat GBT, is going to reinstall the Pro Tuning Freaks BM3 flex fuel sensor, and I'm also going to ask him about that later while I'm here. Huge thank you to FCP Euro. If you guys don't know what FCP Euro is, you're living under a rock, but they supply the best high quality OEM and aftermarket supplies for your car. So I went with the Motul oil. I went to a thicker oil because I'm pushing some power, not Chad's power. And Chad, you would agree with a thicker oil, it takes more time to warm up, right?
More time to warm up.
Yeah, to operating temperatures.
I think that we could probably have a whole conversation just about oil, weight, viscosity, quality of oil. I think what people need to understand is you want a good quality synthetic oil. All synthetic oil is not the same. Motul is very, very good. Fuchs is very, very good. Liquimali is very, very good. I believe FCP Euro sells many of these brands. Motul is one of the better brands, especially for these European engines. This engine calls for 5W30 from the factory. Generally with hotter temperatures, vehicles that are pushing more power, it's been known in the community to run a little bit thicker. So going from a 30 to a 40 is going to be a thicker weight or viscosity oil. The important thing to know is that you want proper warm-up time with any engine, with any temperature. Go out, start the car. You don't want it sitting there idling for 5-10 minutes. Let it idle. Let that idle calm down 30 seconds or so, a minute, and then get out there, drive the car very, very normal until operating temperature, then you're good to go. A little bit thicker oil is going to protect engine components a little bit better. I did have some
bent rods,
engine components here.
All right, so show the camera right up here.
So if you can see, this is a main bearing out of an S58. So this is the main thrust bearing. And if you could see the ridge right in the middle of that there, that is where the oil supply comes out of that hole, and then it comes through this groove here, and it's going to supply oil, which is a barrier. It's a friction barrier between metal components. If you go too thick of a weight of oil, the oil flow isn't going to get in the bearings like we want it to go. If it's too thin, it's not going to give you the protection. So what I would do is I would follow manufacturer's specifications unless you're running super big power with ethanol. If you're running a 100% ethanol or 85% ethanol, that's going to dilute the oil a little bit, make it a little bit thinner. Over time, a little bit thicker weight oil is advisable at certain points. Otherwise, when in doubt, throttle out.
Yep.
You go with the original equipment manufacturer's specification, which is 5W30 for this motor.
So do you recommend wearing protection?
Well, it depends on what you're wanting to do, but always protect it.
That's really cool, actually. I did not know about that, so I'm glad you showed that, and thank you for telling our viewers about that. That's really cool and fascinating, to be honest.
Okay. So always protect it before you lose it.
Yes. And so now we're going to be dumping our 5W40 in the engine. 7 quarts, that's right. Very informative, knows his stuff. If you guys are looking for any like performance, any servicing, check out Dynamic BMW out here in Huntley. If you guys follow me over here, we're going to dump 5 quarts of oil into this. We want to do a smell test. Check the expiration date.
Smell good?
Yeah, it smells good.
What does it smell like?
It's my first time using Motul. Not a sponsor, but we do love FCP Euro. Now we're gonna do a time lapse. Do you recommend squeezing this, Chad?
Yeah. Squeeze it up. Oh yeah.
me after I have Taco Bell.
It's gotta make the spurt noises. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Get a close up of that squirt real quick.
Every last drop.
All right, so we're gonna let that drain. We're just gonna leave it like that. Little known hack. Just like that, and then we're gonna grab our extra bottle, and we only need about 2 quarts of this. Right,
Yeah, well, you're gonna just leave the 5 in there.
So I'm only pouring the 5 in?
You're only pouring the 5 in.
And how often do you recommend an oil change on an S58?
Really depends. I think for everybody, nothing over 6,000 miles. If you're running E consistently, every 3 to 5K. Is John Summit your favorite artist?
He is by far my favorite artist right now. He is dropping banger after banger after banger song.
If John Summit comments on this clip,
I lose my mind.
what would you be willing to do a giveaway for? Maybe if somebody like hashtags or.
If John Summit comments on this video, I'll get a single top mount turbo. So you guys gotta tag John Summit in the comments.
Okay. If you want to see Sean do a top mount and me put it in,
yes.
John Summit's got a comment.
Plug that hole. A lot more goes into this than I thought, but honestly, I know I could do it myself, but without a lift, it's gonna be a lot different. And thank God Chad didn't see me drip a little bit of oil. Yeah.
What did you do? Here.
We didn't show that.
Grab yourself some of the pure wipes.
Beautiful close-up of this oil cap from Precision Raceworks.
Sponsored.
We also have their coolant cover as well, and their auxiliary coolant cover. So now we're gonna fully put that on.
Shout out to Steven over at Precision Raceworks.
Who's Steven? I'm just kidding. Shout out to Steven, for real, over at Precision Raceworks. All right, so I have the previous V1 dynamic plate on, and I texted Chad and I was like, I wasn't really a fan of the quality. And he's like, don't worry, Big Sean, we got you covered.
I did this just for Sean.
So they got a V2 version.
I'm gonna show the difference.
Show the camera. Up a little bit more. Yep. Yes. Oh yeah, much better. Built by Dynamic, only by Dynamic. We also love IND, great company.
I know the owner, very good guy.
We know the owner. We know the owner, great guy. We love Ryan.
Anthony Palella.
We love Anthony, great guys.
Guy. A&L Auto Body, also a great company.
So right now, Mr. Chad Coleman's tightening everything up from the BM3 Flex Fuel Kit. Making sure I don't get any fuel lines that catch on fire.
Let's see how Sean did. Did he spill any oil?
Moment of truth. It is dry, like Chad's humor.
Look at that. This is a big deal for anybody doing any type of work on their car. They always want to double check their work. So whether it's an oil change or you're installing a turbo or whatever the case may be, I always tell all of my technicians, after the job, quality control is number one. You're checking all the bolts, you're touching them. You're going through the job in your mind. What did I do first? Then what did I do? What did I do last? You're double checking everything. And then especially with an oil change, afterwards, we're starting the car. We're checking, not only checking the oil level, but we're checking our oil filter to make sure it's nice and tight. There's no leaks. We're making sure there's no leaks from the bottom. We're making sure that our oil cap is tight. And then last but not least, that our oil level is at the proper specs, which is checked in the iDrive on this car.
And we'll also be resetting the engine service light.
Service soon.
And do you want to let it idle for 5 minutes, or you want to go on a drive with it, or what do you recommend?
I recommend just letting it idle for a couple of minutes, maybe 1 or 2. We're just going to check leaks, and then we'll go out on the road, and then once the engine gets to operating temperature, we'll check the level.
If you guys want to see an awesome G80 build, I will have Chad's G80 video we did together It's making about 1,300 wheel horsepower, close to 1,400 wheel. If you guys want to see an awesome build, go check it out.
Soon to make 1,500 plus.
Special little hint, lady. So I also wanted to give a shout out to IRL for their aluminum oil guard. So funniest story is my old carpet right there. We didn't install one of the screws or nuts and it actually bent back, so it was vulnerable. But now with this being aluminum, protected a lot more. And I will have this linked in the description as well.
Let's go buy yourself one.
Go buy yourself, and I should have a discount code for it too, so I'll put that in there. All right, you guys, so I have my boy Matt here. He's gonna show me how to reset the oil service lights. And
so first off, you're gonna triple tap that engine start stop button. It'll go into diagnostic mode.
And how do you know when it's in there? It just does this?
All the lights pop up on the dash. Then you wait for all these little messages to clear here. You can use the BC button, it'll go away. And then this button, this left little button in the dash, is a trip button. You're gonna hold it. And then I think it's after like right around 10 seconds. Yeah, then it'll pop up and you do the same thing. You hold it again.
You hold it again after that?
Yep, and then and then it'll ask you to reset. You let go of it, hold it again. And it'll say reset in progress.
That's cool. That's easy.
And then
so it has it for 3,000 miles.
Yeah, then it'll go to 7, whatever it is.
Interesting.
Yep.
So that easy, huh?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Do this.
Absolutely. Yep. It's fun.
Anything I need to learn from our first one?
You did an excellent job.
Excellent job.
No, basically you just want to make sure that all of your torques are correct. You're not over tightening anything, that the proper oil is in the car, and you're doing proper quality control.
Copy that.
Easy.
If you guys like this content, please give me a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys later.